Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this whole phrase of no pain, no gain, and why this isn't necessarily good for people who are trying to make progress in the gym, gain muscle, gain strength, things like that. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Because this is one of the things we do see out here in the community of guys who are always talking about painful workouts and no pain, no gain, and they have this hardcore attitude, and there's a lot of people who get into this, and particularly over in the bodybuilding world, this whole masochism thing, that people seem to think that they have to suffer to make progress, to get where they want to get, and it's really not true. And it's almost funny because every time I see some of these guys post about this stuff, again, my nerdiness is going to show here a little bit, but I always think of back in the World of Warcraft, that Cataclysm cinematic for Cataclysm. They've got Deathwing in there, and you see these big hammers flying down and hitting the spikes on him, and it's all pain, suffering, and it's almost like that. It's almost like some of these people are trying to emulate something like that. They want to make it more than it is, and there's this big hardcore attitude that is so pervasive out there. And you know what the truth is? Half the guys who have this mentality, these are the guys who are always hurt. These are the guys who are always having to wrap shit up. And I see young men, I've met young men who get into this, and then you see them and they got their wrist wrapped up while doing machine work, or they're having to use straps. They're like, well, my wrist is injured, or, my elbow is injured and inflamed. And they're already having problems, and they're not even that far into their training. They're in their first 2 to 3 years. And I know a couple of people like this that I've met over the last couple of years. And, you're looking at them going, well, what in the hell are you doing? And they're getting advice from these people who make this stuff out to be hardcore. Guys, we're not doing anything hardcore. We're lifting weights. All right, we are lifting weights, and people act like it's got to be this suffering thing, and it's almost like a self-destructive mindset. It shouldn't be. You should be building yourself up. And to build yourself up, you don't have to train so hard that you hurt. All right, or that you're experiencing pain and inflammation and getting muscle tears. None of that is necessary. Now, do you sometimes have to experience some discomfort? Yes. Sometimes when you push yourself to that threshold in the gym, you're going to experience some discomfort, because some guys are going to be like, oh, you're promoting lazy training. You guys have watched me do weighted chin-ups, heavy deadlifts for, 5+ reps of, weights that a lot of people out here on YouTube can't lift. I'll just throw that out there. Some guys can, but a lot of them can't. So I'm not promoting lazy training here. I believe in lifting heavy. I believe in putting in the work. But the idea that it should be painful, no, it shouldn't be painful. Yes, you're going to experience some discomfort sometimes. Sometimes you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. All right? Sometimes you have to do that to progress. And that doesn't always mean physical. That could be a mental comfort zone. And that's true of anything in life. Sometimes to get better at anything in life, any endeavor, it doesn't have to be weightlifting. Yeah, you've got to get out of your comfort zone sometimes. You have to do that every now and then. But it shouldn't have to be all the time. You don't have to do that all the time in the gym, but sometimes you do, particularly when you start stalling. Sometimes you've got to kind of push beyond that threshold a little bit. Sometimes you'll have to put in a little bit of extra work, but in all honesty, weightlifting really isn't that hard of work unless you're doing something really, some of these more extreme training methods like Widowmaker squats or something. Okay, now that might be hard work, but it really isn't. It's like I've even seen top-level lifters out there make fun of this mentality, and they'll be like, this isn't hard work, we're just lifting weights. You want to know what's hard? A single mother working 2 full-time jobs. Single mother working 2 full-time jobs who's not getting any child support or anything from her children's father. Right? That's hard work. And I've heard top lifters say that before. That's hard work. What we do is a luxury. All right? This is a luxury that most of us do for fun. We do it for enjoyment. And we act like there's all this suffering associated. Any suffering you associate with it is self-inflicted. And if you're suffering in the gym, I'm going to be honest, you're stupid. You have been misled into doing stupid things, and you've been misled by stupid people who are putting out a message. Because here's the thing, you shouldn't be experiencing pain in the gym. Pain is a bad thing. Pain is your body's way of telling you that you are doing something stupid. All right, that is what your body is saying. When you experience pain anywhere, your brain is your body telling your brain, hey, stupid, stop doing this stupid crap that you are doing. Stop it. That's what that means. Pain is always a sign that you are doing something wrong. Just like when you step on something sharp, it's causing damage to you. Pain is a sign of damage. All right, when we talk about muscle trauma, it's not supposed to be physical damage like you're thinking. It's not ripping the muscles apart. The tissue disruption that we talk about from training is hormonal in nature. It's cortisol breaking down some of the protein bonds. Okay, there's a catabolic response there, and it's followed by an anabolic response the other direction. You have to cause some stress to those muscles, but it shouldn't be painful. It's not the tearing that people are trying to pretend like they're doing, tearing muscles down. That's not actually the reality. When you start tearing muscles down, that causes pain that doesn't always stimulate new growth. Sometimes DOMs and other things are associated with tearing of connective tissue. It's not necessarily the muscle fibers you're thinking of. When you start tearing the muscle fibers from physically inflicted, from mechanical stress, that's not a good thing. But this whole idea of pain is bad. And here's the thing. When you see guys who start doing stuff to deal with their pain in the gym, they start needing to take NSAIDs and everything right after training because of the pain they're getting. Okay, that's a bad sign. If you're having to do that, it's time to step back and say, wait, what am I doing wrong? The worst thing that I see people do is sleeves and wraps because they're experiencing joint pain or tendon pain. All right, that is the worst thing you could possibly do. Because you're blunting the pain. Your body is telling you something with that pain. It's telling you that you're doing something wrong that is going to injure you. All right, there's a difference between being uncomfortable, a little uncomfortable, versus actual pain. Pain is telling you that if you keep doing what you are doing, you're going to injure yourself. All right, injury is never a good thing. Injury is counterproductive. But when you're experiencing pain in your tendons, pain in your joints, that's a sign that you have done something stupid. Well, maybe not stupid, but maybe something very ignorant, because you've watched a bunch of people who are ignorant themselves who have passed on bad habits to you. You see all these bodybuilders who are hurt. They're always getting injured. Tons of them are. Tons of people are getting hurt. And I understand when you compete at the top levels in something, you're going to get hurt sometimes. That's normal. Champions do get hurt. But a lot of champions don't get hurt. But people who aren't champions who are getting hurt, come on. People who aren't making a living at what they're doing, getting hurt, come on. It's ridiculous. But that's what you see. A lot of these guys getting hurt. You see guys talking about all these different tears and stuff that they have. You see it all the time. In fact, there's even people who slam me who've had recent pretty serious gym injuries. Just throwing that out there. We're seeing some YouTubers with these injuries. It's because they're not listening to their body when they experience pain. I'm just going to be honest with you. If you're experiencing pain somewhere and you start wrapping or putting a sleeve on that area, that is a recipe for disaster, because what that's doing, that's compressing the area, restricting a little bit of blood flow to it so it gets numb when you train, so that you can keep doing the thing that is inflicting the injury upon you. And that usually results in calcification, scar tissue, build up things like that on tendons that are going to hurt you 10 years from now. You could quit lifting. If you do some of the stuff that these people do, your elbows and knees and other things are going to be hurting. If you even quit lifting right now, they're still going to be hurting a decade from now, because you're building up scar tissue, calcification, tendinitis, inflammation. And eventually, if you're not careful, it leads to snap city, and you snap stuff off the bone. And people need to understand the difference. This whole no pain, no gain thing needs to go away out there. It's stupidity. It's stupidity. You shouldn't be experiencing pain when you train. The key to making gains in the gym is progressive overload. It's to gradually do a little bit more work than you did before. All right? That's the secret to it. You don't have to train to exhaustion. You don't have to train to pain. You don't have to train until you have sore connective tissue. You just have to, every now and then, just gradually increase the amount of work you do week after week, month after month, year after year. If you just gradually get a little better, your body will keep adapting. It will keep improving. It will keep bettering you. And what people need to remember is a lot of people have this masochistic attitude in the training world today. And it's this whole attitude of, it's almost self-destruction. What people need to remember, you're not trying to tear your body down to build it back up. You're trying to stimulate it just enough to improve it, to keep getting better. This is about self-improvement, not self-destruction. All right, and there's a big difference between the two. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.